Hello, everybody, and welcome to the My Snocross Media Racer Roundup. Dom Santina and Matt Kosh, your host. Matt, welcome back.
Yeah, thanks, Dom.
And our guest, good to be back on the podcast. And our guest this week, the 450 Skidoo rider, Kenny Goike. Kenny, how you doing?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Doing good. Glad you could join us here this evening for the podcast. Been kind of eyeing getting you here on the podcast for a while, but finally came through and got you on. Especially, we'll start right off with the highlight, as we kind of do every week with the guests that we bring on. But a good weekend for you in the sport class in Salamanca this weekend in New York. Kind of talk us through that and being able to get up on the podium once again.
Yeah, so Friday, it's weird. I felt better riding Friday than I did Saturday, even though the results don't show it.
Oh, really?
But Friday felt good. I made a lot of passes in the final, and then rode a little over my head trying to get by somebody, swapped out. So then Saturday restarted and just came back with a positive attitude, and it kind of all worked out. Did pretty good in my heats, third qualifier, and then just kind of rode normal, just relaxed, way more relaxed than Friday. Yep.
So you put it up on the box on Saturday. First podium we've had in a little while there in the sport class. You know, you had really good success in the junior 14 to 15. You kind of breezed through sport light. Now you're in sport. And obviously, you know, really two steps from the pro class, but a lot of people look at pro light and sport as probably the two most competitive classes in the series right now. So what have you learned now, kind of a year and a half into sport, of where you can improve? What's the toughest transition kind of been in those two kind of things about the sport class compared to what you've raced in the past?
I'd probably have to say the aggression or intensity levels. Sport class, like, you leave a hair open, somebody's going to take it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you wouldn't even think somebody tried to take it, but they would. Banging a lot more, banging handlebars, going into corners and stuff a whole lot more. I think that's the biggest difference, intensity level. Also, you got longer heats, longer finals. So fitness has to be different, especially pro light next year is going to be way more intense than sport. So I think it's just the intensity and the competition too. A lot more factory rides coming into sport class versus sport light. I think it's a big difference too. Probably half the kids are factory in sport class, I'd say. Maybe not half, but a good majority are.
Mm-hmm. So you just alluded to something. You're looking to move up next season to pro light?
Yeah, I was really on the fence this year.
Yeah.
I talked to a lot of people. A lot of people wanted me to move up. A lot of people wanted me to stay down. I wanted to move up, but I thought I should stay down another year to get a little more experience. So if I'm still in high school, so it's hard to it'd be hard to train that much, still go to school as little as I do already. So yeah, that was like the big question this year, was because I did good last year and I was wanting to move up, but I decided not to.
Okay. So you were already eyeing it as a potential for this year to move up.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. A lot of kids I raced with last year moved up and they're doing well in the class too.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a tough decision because I was going to have one rough year in pro light starting year. So I'd rather get it done now. But big thing was high school. I couldn't practice as much as I needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
So
very good. That's good. That's exciting. Exciting for next year. Looking ahead already.
Yeah, that's the plan, unless something erratic happens.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, you already have 2 pro light riders that you're pretty close with, right? Between Josh Shepard and Tyler. I know you and Tyler have spent, especially last year, but just over the last couple of years, kind of grown together and practiced together. And he's, I think, kind of took on a little bit of maybe a mentor role. Maybe you can talk about that a little bit more. But between Josh and Tyler, you have some idea kind of what that pro light class is like, and you've seen them race. You obviously see it every weekend, but you kind of have an idea between those two a little bit more about that pro light class.
Yeah, for sure. Tyler's a dog, and he'll show you that, like, he shows you what's up in the class and like what you got to look forward to, because he's one of the top dogs in that class. So learning his lines, following behind him at the track and stuff is really important to see, because you'd see lines that you never saw before. And I'm sure if I went up to pro light, you'd see lines that I never saw before or thought of. So it's cool to see what he's doing. Same with Josh. Josh is good at the fitness, the race. I'll talk about that later. But yeah, just seeing the different lines they take and the different intensity levels they have is cool to mimic when we're out at the Northern Power.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, certainly that crosses over. You spend a lot of time pounding laps with those guys on the regional series, and I mean, you and the top guys put on a heck of a show. You Tyler have some pretty awesome battles.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun because we're both trying to win. He's trying to get by me. I'm trying to hold him off. I think we're pushing each other, and I think it helps us both when we're out there, because he's getting good practice in. And I think the best practice is racing, because it's the same intensity. So when we're out there, we're having fun, but you're still getting the race practice in, starts and everything.
Yeah, I agree. Very difficult to replicate the race pace. Even if you think you're trying to run race pace, just pounding laps by yourself is just something about actually being out there with somebody else that's trying to win as much as you are.
Yeah, for sure.
You also kind of talked to us, or you mentioned it just a little bit, and we can get into it a little bit more if you want to. But you're talking about Josh. I know Josh has his own kind of training program. So kind of just talk about maybe how he helps you out there and what training program you kind of have to set you up when you do have time, obviously being in high school still, but what training you do get in and what that routine kind of looks like.
Yeah. So I started when I met Josh 5 years ago. He started training, I think 3. Hey, he started training me, and yeah, he's done an awesome job, I feel like, because he races, so he knows exactly like what is going, because moto training and snowcross, I think, are a lot different. You're just handling way heavier machines, different track setups. But yeah, so we've been working together for 3 years now. He's working with a bunch of other snowcross racers too. Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff what he does. Yeah, with high school, I've been working out with the football team is what I was doing. And then now that football is done with, I've been going to the local gym a lot, working out there and stuff. A lot of cardio circuits is what he's having been doing. And then another thing that I switched up this year is nutrition. I haven't been really good with it like my past years, but this year we sat down. He told me the stuff that's good for you, how much protein I need, all that stuff. And I think that's helped a lot this year. Just going longer, hydration plans and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And you can feel that difference in your body, like you can actually tell.
Yeah. We went on a mountain bike trip out in Colorado this summer, and then we ate super healthy. Like when we were out on job sites, it's grab McDonald's, Burger King, whatever's the fastest. But when we were out there, breakfast, lunch, dinner, all super healthy, and my body felt just so much better. It was crazy how much better it felt. So then this year, just eating healthy, a lot more, and you just feel way more energized in the morning. Wake up energized, on the track energized. So
Oh, that's good. It's very good.
Yeah.
And like sleep in, recovery, like trying to get the whole package, right? There's a lot to it.
There's so much to it. I can't even explain half the stuff that he's making me do. I don't even know why he's making me do it, but it works. So I'm gonna keep on doing it.
Yeah, can't complain when the results are there, right?
Yeah, exactly. I come off Northern Power and we're doing 10-minute motos racing with Tyler, and I don't have arm pump, not really winded, and you can't beat feeling no arm pump or winded. It's the best feeling in the world.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's like that's the next step. It's a progression, and you're at that next step. That's what it takes. That and then one more step.
Exactly. Yeah. For sure.
So we're getting ready to head to ERX. Obviously Northern Power this weekend, ERX the weekend after, and that's a little bit of a stretch of some nationals to wrap up the season. But what do you take from New York positives and look towards ERX and use that as confidence and make yourself feeling good heading into ERX for the next national?
Yeah, confidence was rolling in New York. We got Tommy back, so Tommy's back. That's a lot of confidence because it takes stress off my dad, stress off me, knowing the sled's ready to go. Getting the box, that was good. I was struggling earlier this season, just a lot of bad luck. I crashed almost every day. I think I crashed every day until New York. And the first day I didn't crash, I got in the box. So, trying to push that next step, always pushing. And I'm, looking forward to ERX. Last 2 years there, I got to win. I don't want to jinx myself or anything, but I like ERX, big open track. It reminds me a lot of home. So I got confidence going into there and see how we can do.
You talk about home, Kenny, and you've probably been one of the more regular guys to show up at Northern Power and are there almost every weekend, when some people that are racing as dedicated as you are in the national scene take weekends off or don't always race regional races. And you already kind of hinted at you think racing's important, but how big has it been to get those regional races in and just get that seat time, and especially with what Mark and them have done there at Northern Power to have that facility?
Yeah, that I was there when they started the track, and then till now is just huge. I mean, Mr. Mark puts in so much effort at the track, and you could just see. I mean, it's the biggest track in America right now, maybe even Canada too. And having that as the home track is awesome. You get the best training there is, and the most snowy place in the lower. I mean, the amount of snow they have there is unreal, and you can't beat it. You get practice with Tyler, you get the best. I mean, we have the best groomer, best snow guns. It's the best facility to practice at and get better every day.
Yeah, without a doubt, it's an incredible benefit or blessing that we have that now in Michigan and in lower Michigan at that. You don't have to drive 10 hours, a couple 3 or 4 hours from even southern Michigan, and you're there. So it's very good.
Yeah, and I think we're about 3 hours from there. So I know some people have to drive 6-7 hours to get to a practice track. We got 3 hours, and it's best there is, which I think has played a huge role in a lot of Michigan riders, because since this facility's been open, a lot of Michigan riders have been getting on the box at nationals too.
Yeah, I think that the results are showing, like you just said, both for you and for others that have been putting in the time and going to those open practices and doing the races and then showing up for the nationals a whole lot better prepared.
Yeah.
Kenny, obviously you've been in the sport for a while, but just kind of take people through the progression of how you got started. You can think back a little bit and where Snocross started for you and how you've made your way through the ranks now to the sport class. And as you alluded to earlier, what sounds like the pro light ranks here next year.
Yeah. So I started when I was like 4, racing 120s. I rode a kitty cat, raced 120s, and then got race 120s, went into the I forgot what class it was, Briggs class maybe. I had a Briggs sled, and then Champ sled that we bought from Mike Anderson, which is small world, and then Champ sled, and then I rode an Articat 400 maybe, and that was at Schnicks. We rode there, and then when West Michigan started at Kalkaska, I got my first Skidoo in 2018. Race transition there, hit the Michigan National and the New York National. Next year, we've been racing with the West Michigan, or then now Michigan Snocross since it started. And then transition year, did good, second in points, I'm pretty sure. And then I went to junior 14-15, won that championship. Got a couple of Sportlight wins, a couple of Sportlight podiums that year. And then Sportlight full-time the next year. That was, I came up third in points there. And then last year Sport got a win, 2 wins, another box, and then ended up 5th in points.
Yeah, it is a quick progression. What series did you start under when you started it on you said Kitty Cat or 120? What series was that even? Just out of curiosity. Do you remember even, or were you too small?
It was at Gaylord Fairgrounds. It was. Okay. Oh man, I have the sticker out in the garage, but
was it Bay Racing? Was it the Bay Racing, or was it?
I don't think it was
MXR.
I think it was MXR. That's what it was.
All
yeah.
Right.
Yep, that's where we started at a while ago.
Yeah, that was the old group that bought out essentially Bay Racing back in the day. So yeah, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. Yep.
So you've been at it for a long time. So you've been at it for well over 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I think still is 4. So yeah, 12 years.
12 years, yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're a veteran of the sport.
Yeah. It's weird because this it's just that's when you guys start younger. I mean, even in motocross, if you're not making Loretta's at 6 years old, that's what you got to do to take it to the pro level. Cole Davies, Hayden Deegan, you all got to start really young. So that's the goal, at least. So yeah.
Well, it's worked for you so far. You've had a very successful ranks. We've kind of alluded to, and Matt just said quickly, and we hope that continues as we go out through these next couple of years, and hopefully we can obviously get on the box here a few more times, maybe pick up a couple sport wins before the season's over. Is there any goals other than like a win that you have for yourself to what looks like wrap up this sport season and wrap up your time in the sport class?
I just want to be the fastest guy out there. Like, I want people to look and be like, yeah, that kid's really fast. Like, maybe results don't show it, but I'd rather in the sport class at least be like, that kid was really fast. I mean, if you look at Elias, he was checkers or wreckers. That's not a bad thing to look up to because he's the best right now. So that's the goal, is just to be the fastest there is. Learn a lot too. Learn how to make passes, learn how to ride a faster pace. So I think that's the goals for the end of the year. Obviously winning's the number one goal, but just to go faster is what I'm shooting for.
Those are good. I'd maybe give you one suggestion: try to stay healthy.
Yeah,
and you've done really well with that. Like you've managed that piece of your racing career quite well. Like you've had a good run of health, and I pray that continues on, because as speed gets up, fitness and speed kind of go hand in hand, and staying healthy for sure.
Yeah, last year I got sick really bad in Sioux Falls. Had like a 101 fever, 102 fever while riding.
Oh, and then that's rough.
Yeah, I was sick for a couple of weeks last year. And that's why I was super keen on nutrition this year. So that's why I was like, I got to stay healthy, because that really sucked last year.
Yeah, knock on wood, don't want to jinx anything, but I think out of every year that I've been there, I've only seen you really do some major damage to your sled once, and that was last year. I think you had a pretty good off at Northern Power, but other than that, like you've done a pretty good job of keep putting the sled where it needs to go and keeping it there and staying up. So yeah, especially this weekend, we don't need anything happening. So
yeah, I don't push it too hard though when we're at Northern Power. Try not to. I do have a couple practice crashes this year. That was pretty cool, but other than that, yeah, just trying to stay healthy is a big one. And that's just the goal: stay healthy.
Yeah, it's good.
Stay healthy and go fast. Yeah,
you're young, good nutrition, good fitness, and those things all allow you to ride out of some things that might get a little dicey for somebody not in such good a shape.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's another big thing is if you do get hurt, being healthy helps you get recovered faster. So.
Yeah, absolutely. As we kind of head towards the end of this, obviously 3-day weekend at Northern Power this weekend with the Ditch Banger Friday night, and then round 9 and 10 of Snocross on Saturday and Sunday. Kenny, have you guys joined in? I know last year you guys were looking to do a little Ditch Banger racing. Have you guys ran any of the Ditch Bangers at all?
Yeah, I ran the last one. Danny let me ride his 440 in the Procross. So it went Danny, me, Tommy. That was a lot of fun. Ditch banging was a lot of fun. I'm gonna try and do it this weekend.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think it's a ball. It's really fun to go out there, no pressure, with your buddies.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get a lot of kids from school to go up there that ride. Just get more people to come do it, because the more people, the better.
I mean, perfect. Again, the facility is so well set up for that kind of an event. Like it can manage and handle all the classes, all the sleds that you'd want to bring up there. They can manage it and run a great show.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. The Ditch Bangers are getting more popular than the Snocross, which obviously is kind of tailored that way because everybody has like an old sled that you can bring out to the track, right? But honestly, I think it's more fun to watch the Ditch Bangers almost than the Snocross races, just with everybody having fun. And I think with that, I know they made it a championship series this year, but there's just less pressure, it feels like, on the Ditch Bangers and just guys out having a good time rather than worrying about winning necessarily.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it brings a lot more people to like notice Snocross. My cousins, Kenzie and Abby and Uncle Steve, they came out and raced a Ditch Banger. So I just brought a lot more people. They brought people to bring. So I brought a lot more people, I think, to notice Snocross. They're like, oh, this is fun. We should try this. And I think, yeah, especially with the facility, it just makes it a whole lot more fun.
We one thing before we let you go here, Kenny, we talked to your cousin Cole a couple weeks ago. How cool has it been to kind of see Cole and Jackson both join you in racing Snocross? And I know you maybe don't see them all the time, but just to see that you have cousins in the sport and are kind of following after your lead as you're kind of pushing, leading the way through the ranks.
Yeah. When Cole started racing 3 years ago, he's kind of skeptical about it. And then he decided to go all in. The next year Jackson went all in, and then now it's just been a whole lot of fun. The whole family comes out, watches us all ride. Grandpa and their grandpa, uncle, they come out and watch. We get to drive out there together, hang out, hotels, go to dinner. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I'm really glad they picked it up because now we get hang out, go to the races, and now we have lots of memories for future.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, that's a big part of Snocross. It's a lot of families, a lot of family. You'll see that. It's really cool that the sport is kind of open to that, and it certainly is an open, inviting, and it's set up well to do that. It's awesome.
Yeah, and I'm glad they're doing really good. They're putting a lot of work, and it's really cool to see them up on the box at nationals. That's a really cool to see them up there.
Wow, that's a huge accomplishment. And like Dom said, they're watching you, kind of eyeing up what you're doing, kind of paving the way for them, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad we get to go out there and have fun, especially in Northern Power. No pressure. Get to go out there and race each other, help each other. Sometimes Cole's like, I just do something I can't see, and then I'll tell him like, this is something else. Bounce ideas. It's really cool to be close with somebody that we can go out there and have fun out there on the track.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to see, as you said, a family affair, and really, especially at the regionals, that's what it's all about. Kenny, we just wish you luck here the next kind of second half of the season, and hope for healthy riding and successful riding, and hope to see you up on top of the box a few more times here to wrap up the year. So we appreciate you coming out and jumping on the podcast. Hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks guys for having me. It's cool to see you guys this weekend.
All right, thanks, Kenny. It's always fun to watch. Always cheering for you.
Thank you.
See you this weekend. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks everybody for watching, and stay tuned for the next podcast episode.